Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Batman the Telltale series. Man, I just played the last section just a couple hours ago and I've already kind of forgotten what's going on. The children of Arkham have been spying through the back door that was in Wayne Tech communication technology, and there's, for really no good reason, they put the Penguin in charge of Wayne Enterprises to replace Bruce Wayne. He's about to meet Vicky Vale because she somehow got an interview with the leader of the Children of Arkham. And yet, up until this point, I've pretty much ignored Vicky Vale both as Batman and as Bruce Wayne, so she probably won't want to really help me. Catwoman seems to be completely missing from the story going forward, and Harvey Dent is losing his mind and becoming a split personality before Two-Face. There was a comic book, I believe, that happened where there was a split personality and the Two-Face thing just kind of never even happened as far as the face being burnt. So we're back to the same location that they had already animated as far as Cobblepot Park.
Gotta admit, part of me thought it was a prank call.
Let's see.
Nothing is ever this easy, especially not when you're a reporter.
There are safer options out there. Why here?
It seemed topical. So, Batman. I'll skip the obvious question. The Children of Arkham seem to be your latest target. We all know their methods are extreme, but what about their message? Their leader claims that Gotham's elite have been abusing their power, often at the expense of ordinary citizens.
You know, that's probably true.
Do you think there's any validity to what they're saying?
I mean, Gotham doesn't happen that way.
The Children of Arkham have done horrible things. They're a symptom of a larger problem.
The corruption in Gotham.
They exist because they see an injustice.
Sort of like you, then. Their message is picking up traction, especially since the interview.
I need to know everything they told you.
Does no one read anymore? It was a lot of posturing and grandiose monologuing, really. We're going to purge the city of corruption, sort of thing. Not great from an investigative standpoint, but the public will eat it up. Part of the job, you know? If that's the only reason you called me, you should really just read it yourself. They aren't trying to hide their motivations. It's all out there. Clear as day.
I don't want to pick any of those options.
Write it down.
Where did you meet? How did they contact you?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm not selling out a source. Not even for Batman. The circumstances of that meeting are confidential. Just like this one. I'm sure you wouldn't want me telling everyone how to get a hold of you. I can't give you specifics.
You're putting the safety of everyone in Gotham at risk.
Well, if you really care about the safety of Gotham, why aren't you looking at Bruce Wayne? I still want to believe he's a good guy too, but with the information that surfaced, everyone's angry. Everyone wants him to answer for what his family did.
See, this is really weird that...
Except for you. Why haven't you gone after him yet?
that
No way, he just slipped under your radar. But so far, no action from you against him. No investigation.
like, why would you...
Bruce Wayne is innocent. He's not responsible for what his father did.
Like,
Maybe
why
not,
would you
but he still benefits from it.
blame him?
All those people suffered so that he could prosper up in that mansion of his. I don't know if you have some connection with him. Maybe there's more to this story than I realize.
See, this would be funny, is really
You
Batman
can't
should
ignore
bring
the
in
facts.
Bruce Wayne
Whether he intended to
and
or
arrest
not,
him.
His family has been stealing from innocent people.
Like, Bruce
for
Wayne then would
years.
just use his lawyers to get out.
So, what are you gonna do about it? What is
It's
Batman
not like
doing to
Batman.
protect them from Bruce Wayne? The people want to know.
Let's see.
Believe me, I'll make sure Bruce Wayne's debt is repaid.
Gotham will be glad to hear it. Thank you. Good luck with the Children of Arkham.
I wonder if she's the
I'll be sure
leader.
your message gets out.
Why would I threaten her?
'Cause I don't want to be the one to find out.
Hmm.
Why would you?
Why would I threaten her? Hmm. 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 Why would I threaten her? Hmm.
Please, Miss Vale, think what you want about Bruce Wayne. But I need to find the children of Arkham before they hurt anyone else.
You're right. You upheld your end. God, I could lose my job for this, but... Here.
It just
This
feels
is where we met
like
for the interview.
incredibly
Please.
unfair to blame Bruce Wayne for anything at all. Even if his parents did steal the land and maybe even stole a bunch of resources from people, like lawsuits would be the solution here against the well, arguably the Wayne Enterprises or the estates of his parents, which I guess that wouldn't really work. But to kind of hate Bruce Wayne when it's so obvious Bruce Wayne wouldn't have known anything about this, you'd have to just assume that
Everything's dark, quiet.
that there needs to be
The children of Arkham.
hints of
They may not
evidence.
have gone far. They should be there.
No security, no emergency staff. If Vicky's right, it shouldn't be this quiet.
Be on your guard. I'll continue monitoring the drone feeds from here.
Thanks.
Yep.
I want to have a look around.
The city that once loved the Waynes immediately
There's
just
a
turning and hating Bruce
Likely the work
Wayne
of the children of Arkham. I'm gonna
feels
look around, see what they've
too
been up to.
convenient for the writer's plot compared to what I feel like reality would be. And here we are in an area that is really just kind of a combination of several areas we've been before, and there's some models.
This train car has been modified.
How do you mean?
Has a chemical tank on it.
Clearly the holding tank. It's empty. For now.
And then
Looks like some kind of sprinkler system.
Doubtful they're planning to put out fires.
The train car is their
so they're
delivery
gonna
system.
just deliver it.
Maximum coverage.
You know, at one point there was also, I think, a lot of blimps. In Arkham City, you saw definitely a lot of blimps in Gotham. But I guess in
Someone's
this
been
story, they're
practicing
not
chemistry.
going to have any blimps.
Something spilled here. This is the drug they've been using. Refined. It's the same as the one given to Montoya and Harvey.
Then an empty container over here.
This solvent increases dermal permeability. Looks like they ran out of the absorbing agent.
So we're doing another one of these investigation sequences, and boy, does this just not feel
These
like
barrels match the shrapnel that I found at the docks.
it just does not really matter at all. We just need to look at everything and then
They've been referencing
move the
map.
story
Whatever
forward.
they're building must hinge on it somehow. This depot is pretty centrally located.
Well, there's timers and timer parts.
A detonation device, but it's disabled.
They must have intended to hook it up to something.
The timer is set for 27 minutes and 13 seconds.
From now,
The numbers aren't moving. Doesn't seem to be counting down yet. This is how they were timing their route. Alfred, what stations are within a 27-minute train ride from this depot?
looking into the transportation database now. Sir, there's just one. Mercy Street Station.
It's one of the busiest places in the city. Thousands of people go in and out every hour.
Yeah, this sure feels a lot different from what I was expecting, certainly. It's dull, to say the least. And part of the problem certainly is, particularly for comic books, you would have had probably a tease of who the bad guy is, maybe even go 30, 50 pages without revealing who the bad guy is, but the comic book pages barely have any text in them and are just pictures. You could easily get through them in less than an hour. And 30 or 50 pages would be several months of individual releases.
Shot in the chest.
How terrible.
There's something else.
But even in comic book form, like the monthly release is a terrible way to read comics. I very quickly, when I was reading comic books, gave up on the idea of reading a comic and then waiting a month, reading a comic book that was probably about 16 pages, and then waiting a month for another 16 pages. I moved over to trade paperbacks, which was really the only good way, because if you get a bigger collections, they're too expensive and it's too much commitment. And frankly, going to a library or getting used copies of trade paperbacks is probably the best way to start. The idea of actually collecting comic books, I think, is insane and not something anybody new to comics should even think about.
This man's veins. They look like Montoya's veins after she was drugged, only they're so much worse. The same drug from the debate.
I feared we hadn't seen the last of it.
There's no puncture mark here. No entry point for an injection.
So, how did it get in his body?
In a
He was
gunshot
shot
wound?
dead center, twice. Executed.
I suppose they no longer had need of a hostage.
So I wonder if they just breathe, like, if they've aerosolized it, however you say that word, made it into a breathable gas. Okay. So it seems like you really are going to make barely 3 connections here. Chemical barrels to the chemical lab.
Traces of both chemicals here. The drug is being modified here. They're changing it.
I guess that's right, because we can't break those connections. Empty container, I suspect, may be supposed to go over to this guy.
They're manufacturing the drug so that it can be absorbed through the skin.
And then that and that one. Which I wouldn't be surprised if you could have actually made all the connections with anything.
The children of Arkham must have found a way to weaponize it. With a drug that can absorb into skin, it will affect hundreds of people at once. They're loading the modified drug into the tanks on the train cars, dispersing it through the sprinklers. The timers are set to go off just as it rolls in over the crowds.
We aren't prepared to contain something of that scale. Releasing a drug like that in so populated an area would be devastating.
You can solve this right
The
now.
entire city if they had enough.
Break the
There
skyline,
wasn't
break
enough
the
chemical to mix
train.
with the rest of the stockpile of drugs.
There's a train coming. Take cover.
Like, it maybe would do a whole bunch of damage, certainly, but be easy enough to just break a train and make it so you couldn't go any further. You couldn't move the train into place. Just break the
If I'd known
electricity.
you were gonna make me lug this thing myself, I would have worn more comfortable shoes.
Just add it to the list of your mistakes. Must be why you didn't come through on your last assignment.
Weird that Catwoman seemingly is working for the bad guy again. But I imagine this is a double bluff. And that she's being threatened or
Okay, you two.
spying.
Get these mixed, loaded onto the train.
This way.
Their leader is here, with Catwoman.
Either that or they've
She's got more
infected
than an
her.
absorbing agent.
She must have a good reason for being there.
Selena plays both sides.
She plays whatever side meets her needs.
Currently, her needs seem to be focused on keeping all 9 of her lives.
We're done here, right?
Not yet.
No. There's no part 2 of this. I got what you wanted. I'm done.
You might as well come out, Batman. I know you're here.
No way. I did not bring him here. I honored our deal.
Oh, I know you did. But now, you're a loose end. Surrender. Unless you'd like to see firsthand what a critical dose looks like. She joined poor Esther Cobblepot. Death might be preferable.
I'll go ahead and surrender.
Take me instead, and let her go.
Oh, screw this. I'm not that sort of damsel.
Yeah, it seems like there was no way she was actually going to get injected. Alright, and so after that boring section, at least we get the QuickTime events, which is, I guess, as much action as we're ever going to get. And at this point, these aren't just... these are more like murdering terrorists in my mind than just being mercenaries who are stealing some things. Like they were at the beginning of the game, so I'm now a little bit more immune towards the violent thought of just smashing people.
Don't get ahead of yourself. I decide when this ends.
Oh, apparently he knocked out of the area, out of the way, but the animation looked nothing like that. This guy has all kinds of...
You can't protect Gotham from itself.
all kinds of...
They lit the fire. We're just here to stoke the flames.
and I don't see any reason to not attack.
Just like the other liars. All talk.
So are we supposed to wait? And was I supposed to explode the bomb at some point? Like, if this was a game and you could just press a button to activate the bomb in the middle of the fight, that'd be cool, but clearly that's not what's supposed to be, that's not what he's planning for. Like, there's just a terrible amount of animation happening here. So it's like his entire plan seemingly was to now they want to show this kind of cool scene, but this really should just be a cutscene. I don't get what I just saw there. He's placing these bombs, I guess, and he needs to place more of them, I guess. Of course, I easily could have released the gas accidentally, but whatever.
Hang in there. Don't pass out on me. Come on, bats.
Let's see. So he's gonna get away. Obviously, it's the third episode.
I'm gonna get you somewhere safe. Just stay with me.
Yeah, that could have been a really, really cool scene, and yet, because of the limitations of their bad budget, bad visual directing, and just glitchy engine, that looked awful. And it in no way improved it one bit by having QuickTime events. He should have just been a cutscene. A slightly shorter, cooler looking cutscene.
Stay here, okay? Just don't move.
This is gonna be funny when Harvey Dent walks through the door.
Thank you.
And this is another great example which you can just wait forever
Don't thank me yet.
to answer when A, there's no reason for there to have been a timer for that prompt, and B, there was no reason for there not to
You're lucky
be
you were wearing that suit.
to be a timer that
You know
long.
that was stupid, right?
What?
Showing up at that train depot. Taking on their leader alone. Repeat after me, Bruce. I am not invincible, and painkillers do not solve the problem.
So what's funny is
You weren't
Selena,
gonna take them down on your own. They would have killed you.
like, she actually feels
talk.
like
I
a
never pick a
Telltale
fight I can't
character
win.
in that conversation. Whereas Bruce Wayne still feels like Bruce Wayne. Like,
I don't think you're
if
being
you
very far
showed
to
me
shoulder
this
like
scene and didn't show me Bruce Wayne, I would
You
not
can
be
stay
able to
here
tell you
until
that this
morning.
was supposed to be Selena
Not
Kyle.
that I owe you anything.
I don't even really
After the debate, I'd say we're
equate in my mind that Selena Kyle
It's fine.
has that
You can
haircut,
have a couch until morning.
black
Then I'm
lipstick,
done owing
dark
you
black
favors.
eyelash,
Probably best to lie low for now.
eye
anyway.
makeup.
I don't want the children of Arkham finding this place. I had it handled, you know. With their leader. I had a plan. Really didn't need you swooping in and messing it up.
I was there tracking the children of Arkham. I had no idea you'd be there.
Must have been quite the surprise.
Yeah, it was.
That was gonna be my ticket out of here. One last job to get the goons off my back. So much for that. Thanks again, Bats.
Let's see.
I'm sorry I messed things up for you back there.
I know. I'm used to it anyway. There's no such thing as a fresh start. Oh, look who's back.
Hey, little one.
When you look at this cat,
I'll
you
bet
can
she likes
see
you.
how they
Okay, she really doesn't like you.
don't have the ability to really do hair or fur.
Most? Maybe half. Just trying to be optimistic. Cut it out.
It would be funny at the end of the season if half the city still hated Bruce Wayne, but I don't think it really matters.
This
And
really hasn't been your week, has it?
It would be kind of ridiculous to
Think?
try
I lost
and
my company,
imply
my
that
reputation,
Bruce
and I
Wayne
find out
and
my
Selena
father
Kyle are
is-
going to just
like
skip town.
everyone else. They've all got something to hide, Bruce. Every last one of them. Even the so-called good guys. There's always something just beneath the surface.
So what is it you're hiding, Selena?
All kinds of things.
She has like a
Come on, Bruce.
really expensive
you have
looking
your
painting
secrets.
on her wall back there.
Those things you hide from the world and won't let anyone else see.
Yeah, well, the difference is my secret doesn't hurt anybody.
Then you're better than most. You're a good man, Bruce.
See, this is kind
Good
of
men don't
a
lie with thieves.
interesting conversation,
No noble intentions. Just the thrill of
but we're
breaking
far
every
too
secret
late
paper.
into this
Knowing there's
game
no
for this
safe I can't
conversation to
crack.
happen.
No fortress I can't infiltrate. Proving I can.
That's not all you are. I think that's just what you want people to believe.
You put a lot of faith in someone who doesn't deserve it. I've stolen
I would have
from
liked to
Rogers
see
like
this
too,
conversation to
but
have
I've taken plenty from
happened
good people,
as
too.
a flash forward at the first episode.
Some shiny new toys in a crappy apartment on the edge of town. The high is nice, but it wears off. Then you look around and see nothing. So you get back out there. Try and chase that feeling down. But it never amounts to anything, really.
It's not the same, but I know what you mean. After everything we do, everything we're capable of, coming home just feels
like a disappointment.
Once again, this conversation is really good, or it's at least a lot better than the average conversations, but I hate the prompts. I hate the interactivity here. I prefer this to
this is nice.
Did you mean to say that out loud?
Seems like I accidentally chose to kiss her or go down that path. See, now you're not even getting a prompt. Oh well, too late now. Harvey Dent.
I'll make it up to you.
Wow. I didn't think this was going to turn into a full-on sex scene. I thought it was going to be a more kid-friendly
Do I have to do all
single
that
kiss.
myself? Or are you gonna undo this for me?
Wow. How far?
I shouldn't be doing this.
Let's put an end to that. A, for YouTube family friendliness, but also because Harvey Dent.
What's wrong?
Particularly Harvey.
Never mind.
Harvey's my friend. I can't do this to him.
There's nothing going on with me and Harvey.
Yeah, but he's also having a mental breakdown.
Let me go get you a blanket.
I think almost certainly you would have gotten interrupted anyways and not seen actual breasts. Maybe
At least
just
she's not hissing
cleavage.
at you anymore.
Hooray for small miracles.
Another drink?
Let's see. Sure, why not?
Got anything stronger than water?
What kind of a girl do you think I am? Never run into anyone else who did this, you know? You can't be Batman all the time. So what's a night off look like? What do you do when you take off the mask?
Let's see. Let's go with the true answer.
Kidding, I love being Batman. I feel more at home in the suit than I do as Bruce Wayne. You ever feel that way?
I guess I just never saw them as different to begin with. Me and Catwoman. It's the same thing.
See, she has like a ring. Or on her
To better days ahead.
table there. Yeah, and that's how I would have gone with it. But I imagine a lot of people would have tried to go hornier with it and ended up trying to sleep with her. And maybe then it would have just faded out to black and shown this. Ironically, there's kind of fewer scars on Bruce Wayne than there normally would be. Definitely thinking that this is still a year one style story where Batman has not been Batman for that long. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, but none of it's clickable. I'm holding the left trigger to highlight the clickable stuff. So your only choices are to come over and look at this gem.
I think it's safe to assume she didn't pay for that.
Which I don't think looking at the gem was actually the point, and you can't even look at it again. Then you have no choice but to look at the cowl. The bat cowl.
Bruce?
Morning, Alfred.
Oh, thank goodness. I was worried. I hadn't heard from you. I didn't know what happened. If you were...
Skin just try to be a nice guy.
Well, I'm just glad you're okay.
Honestly, you have kind of more of a relationship with Alfred than anybody else in this game.
I know, Al.
Where are you, anyway?
I stayed at Selena's last night.
Oh.
Nothing happened.
I never said it did. While you're there, this might be a good opportunity to learn more about Miss Kyle. After all, we really don't know anything about her. See what you can find lying around. If she's trustworthy, you may not have another chance.
Yeah, that's a smart idea. I'll see what I can find.
At the very least, you can find that grapple gun of yours.
Right.
Hmm.
That might be harder than you'd think. She doesn't share your love of organization.
Yes, well, I'll see you back at home, Bruce.
There is a problem here, certainly, in knowing Catwoman, as I kind of do. I imagine this is supposed to be her sanctuary, her place of safety. So while you can do a little bit of boyfriend snooping, for lack of a better term, if you're really just trying to spy on her, and
this was an exhibit
it's going to be a betrayal of her trust.
Lucius even set up new security for the museum. How did she get in? She can afford to eat anywhere, and she still chooses Chinese takeout. That isn't even the good place.
It's pretty acceptable to look at things on bookshelves.
What to do about nothing? Petrarca. Didn't take her for a romantic. What's this one? Oh, the Gita Govinda. That's academic.
I wonder if there's things hidden inside the books.
Her cat eats like a queen while she's eating junk.
Let's see. What's on the fridge?
Vacation spots are just marks on her burglary checklist.
It would be interesting to know or find her backstory is that she's some romantic looking for love. But obviously she has thrill-seeking tendencies that are big problems. Bag of bagels and some cream cheese. Alright, yeah, let's make some bagels for her.
To me. Nothing growing, at least. At least she's got the essentials.
Harvey.
Hey, I brought breakfast. Can I come in?
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Just for a minute. I really need to talk to you. If you want me to go, I'll go.
Let's stay hidden.
I have to get this out. Bruce?
Whoops.
Seriously.
What are you doing
Didn't
here?
have a chance.
Have a seat, Harvey.
No, I don't need to sit down. Bruce, tell me what is going on.
I just came by to check on Selena.
What, with your pants off?
Back off, Harvey.
Don't touch me! I thought I would come here and... So stupid! God, I should have known. I should have known that you would do this to me. You were just using me, weren't you? Both of you. I don't care about you. No one does. I shouldn't have come.
Harvey, nothing happened. I promise you.
No, you don't have to answer to him.
He will not be able to protect you.
And I don't need him to. Just get out of here, Harvey.
The real solution here would be to say I got attacked.
You think you won't get caught in the crossfire? They're coming for all of us. He can't stop them. And neither can you.
Let's just let him rant.
Even he sees the truth in it.
I'm only gonna ask one more time.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm sorry.
What the hell is going on with you?
Up until now, Harvey has been weak. He's been afraid. Always depending on everyone else to save him.
Notice how they keep
Like a
putting
child.
the different like hints of his face behind him, a mirror behind him.
They aren't going to help you.
Harvey. All right, now you've got 2 seconds.
Or what? Harvey won't be pushed around anymore. No, he's gonna make them pay. Everyone who thought they could hurt him and get away with it. Starting with you. Both of you!
You're gonna pick that up.
Who am I?
Yes, you are.
Harvey, you are our friend. We don't want to fight you.
What if I do?
Jesus, Harvey.
Of course, gotta be fair about this. Can't play favorites. They both deserve it, one way or another.
How about we flip for it?
This isn't funny.
No, it really isn't.
So he's gone full Two-Face.
Selina, looks like you're first.
Alright, well.
Always getting in the middle of things.
Stay the hell away from me.
The call's already been made.
Harvey.
Bruce. No, I don't want to hurt you. This isn't. They turned their backs on you.
Harvey, put the knife down.
Selina!
He's gonna hurt someone. You know we can take him out. Have you lost your mind?
No.
Let's try and wear him down instead of just immediately beating him down.
You need to calm down.
What are you doing?
No going back now.
Like, it's still gonna end up in an action sequence. But like, even now, you know this is way more of a mental issue than it ever gets really touched upon in the comics or the cartoons, where he is just cartoonishly a villain that's, and their friendship is barely even mentioned.
Please. I don't want to be alone, Bruce. Please, not with him. I can't. Oh, God, I can't listen to him.
You need to get help. You can't deal with this on your own.
I know.
I wouldn't be surprised if his therapist actually doesn't exist.
My
And
fault.
it's just a hallucination.
Harvey, don't.
Bruce, I don't think we can help him. Not on our own.
It's just me.
Let's see.
It's just me. It's just me. It's just me.
He's my friend, Selina. I'm not going to abandon him.
He needs professional help. Help you can't give
It's
him.
okay.
And so this is going to be echoing
I don't deserve your help.
the idea of
Go up,
sending
tail
him
between your legs.
off to Arkham Asylum.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Harvey!
So much for this place. I'm not gonna stick around and wait for him to come back. Thought it would be a while before I had to move again. That's what I get for wishful thinking.
Yeah, you're right. It's not safe to stay here.
And I'm not sure I'm gonna find another place with this kind of private access. Ugh. Maybe I'll live on a boat. Kidding. Yeah, that means you too. We won't
Let's
go
see.
far.
Ask him to stay at Wayne Manor? Why not?
You should come stay with me.
I don't know.
There's plenty of space. Alfred could set up a guest room for you.
I'll think about it.
But yeah, Batman needs to basically...
Great.
What was that about?
I'm supposed to announce my resignation at a press event today. Somehow try to appear happy that Oswald Cobblepot is taking my job.
Sounds like an opportunity.
How do you mean?
They screwed you out of your own company. You have all this information that could bring them down, and they're handing you a live mic. So use it.
I need to
Don't be
warn
their puppet.
Gotham.
I need to warn everybody about the children of Arkham. They have big plans for Gotham.
Hopefully they'll listen. You better get going. I've got some packing to do.
The offer still stands.
Sounding better and better by the minute.
See, it seems really unfair here that we're going to end up with Catwoman, despite the fact that we're betraying Harvey, even though we tried really hard not to betray him. And frankly, it's a little too early for Catwoman and Batman to get together.
We've prepared a brief damage control statement to make this easier. After I introduce you, all you'll have to do is read what's on the teleprompter.
And then I can take it from there. Got my little coronation speech just waiting.
Thank you for being so cooperative about all this, Bruce. It really is for the best.
For everyone, really.
I know it's unfair to ask this of you, but please. Right now, your reputation, your entire legacy, depends on your cooperation. Get through today, and I can help you. I can convince the board to bring you back. It might not be CEO, but it will be something. A step to regaining what you're being forced to give up. This is what is best for Gotham. Hopefully, you find your voice at the podium.
Already
Don't
then,
even respond
we are going
there.
to make quite a splash today, aren't we?
See, I kind of get the feeling that you're supposed to think that she's kind of two-faced.
A well-deserved comeuppance, a noble hero riding in to save the day. This really does have all the elements.
I'm just not responding to anything at this point.
It's time. Bruce, I'm going to introduce you and then you're on. Please, stick to the teleprompter. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. Wayne Enterprises has always taken its role in the community very seriously.
Isn't it funny how everything I said to you in the park has come true? Me, taking everything that's yours. And that's not even a punchline. No, dear heart, not even close. No one's gonna follow you around and take pictures now. It'd almost be sad if you were so bloody handsome.
You're just a pawn, Oswald. And everyone knows that pawns are meant to be sacrificed.
Perhaps. But at least I get the joy of watching your shocking and surprising descent first. This is just a first step towards making things right. Soon enough, it'll be Cobblepot Industries, Cobblepot Medical, and Cobblepot Tech on tops of buildings, and you, Waynes, will be what you should have been all along. A forgotten footnote. Cobblepot will come to mean the future of Gotham, and Wayne will be the story no one wants to hear.
See, like, there's not even important
Witty retorts, Bruce.
kind of no point to even respond.
He lost his shine. Oh, I forgot to mention, I did some digging, and you know how old Hill admitted he had your mom and dad killed? I found out why he did it. Oh yeah, and I'll tell you the story, but only if you say, "Pretty please." It's quite the page turner. I'm sure you're just dying to hear it. Aren't you, Bruce?
Let's find
Just
out.
tell me. I have to know.
Nah, that's not what I asked.
Pretty please.
Turns out your dear mum found out what your daddy was up to. Threatened to turn him in, she did. She said she didn't want to be a part of it. Now you can imagine, Hill wasn't too keen on that idea. So he slid a few dollars Joe Chill's way, and, well, you saw the rest, mate.
And now,
It'd be really
Bruce
funny if it
Wayne
was
would
Bruce
like to
Wayne's
say a few
mom
words.
is the
Remember, enjoy
actual
yourself,
bad
Bruce.
guy.
After all,
That'd be an
you never
interesting
know how
twist.
much time you really have left.
I wonder if the cop is going to try and shoot him in the head. Okay. Let's just say nothing and see what happens.
Just read the bloody script, Bruce.
One moment, folks.
Start talking, or I'll call security to haul you off.
Which one?
I know what my father did.
You get these prompts and then you're going to get these
But
long.
I am nothing like him. His actions are his own.
Stop trying to save face.
Interesting you get these prompts.
I worry for the future of Wayne Enterprises. The decisions made in the next few days will be critical in shaping what that future will be.
Careful, Bruce.
It's funny if people would even care about this kind of press conference. Let's see.
Mr. Wayne, are you having trouble reading the teleprompter?
My replacement, Oswald Cobblepot, is a member of the Children of Arkham. They control his every move.
Security! Step back, Mr. Wayne.
That was quite a show you put on, Bruce.
My apologies. Folks, please forgive me, Mr. Wayne. Everyone. I, for one, completely understand his behavior today.
Nice
After
statement.
all, he has worked
The press
tirelessly
seemed to eat it up.
to build Wayne
I rather enjoyed it
Enterprises into the
myself.
building we see before
Not that
us
it'll
now.
change anything.
It must be
We can
quite
talk about
hard
it later.
to let
Later?
your life
No.
go.
This needs to happen right now.
It's not an easy thing.
Oh,
Something
I
come to
took
happen.
that prompt as something completely
Drop your
different.
pen.
The very self
It's not.
being taken over by another. I should know. I'm sure some of you remember the form of beauty of
You feel
Cosmo
that?
Park. Now
That's the
it's
drug
bad,
taking hold of you.
and forgotten.
Don't fight it.
Testament to the terrible
You-
things that have happened to Gotham.
You're with the Children of
We've all
Arkham.
recently learned of the dark
No,
secret our city
I am the Children of Arkham.
so many.
I think it's time you knew my real name. I am.
Lady Arkham.
And you already know the Penguin. Look at him up there, taking everything that should belong to you. Mocking you, a smug, insignificant bastard.
Well,
He
this
thinks
is
he can get away with it.
slightly
Because
interesting.
none of them know who
I don't know enough about Vicky Vale if
They
this was
wouldn't
ever
believe
actually the truth.
And if we could just get one more round of applause for our friend, the man of the hour, Bruce Wayne.
Let's see.
Ouch, someone's a little touchy, it seems.
You can't say anything.
So easy to get rid of him. Who else will deliver justice?
Seems crazy. Why wouldn't you just immediately attack Vicky Vale? So yeah, they basically introduced Lady Arkham. I guess that is who that bad guy was this whole time at the end of episode 2, and then they do a pretty big twist, and it's not a bad twist by any means, but again, this may be dragging Vicky Vale as a character's name through the mud in a sense that I'm not sure she's ever been really a villainess. We don't really know. I don't know her backstory, so I don't know any reason why she would be a bad guy. I don't even know what she's trying to accomplish here? Is she trying to take down the Waynes? Is she trying to create some kind of weird revolution and using the Penguin, and then gonna betray him and sacrifice him? Like, none of it makes sense with so few data points to consider. It definitely wasn't a great episode. There was definitely boring sections in the action sections, boring sections in the conversation sections. You can definitely tell that the Selena Kyle Bruce Wayne conversation was the only important part that they really put some effort into writing, and the rest of this episode really didn't matter that much. They are either destroying the history of characters or killing off characters left and right, which for a Batman Telltale series, I guess you have that ability to do that because there's just so many characters anyways. But it is certainly giving me a bit of whiplash. So apparently 60% of the players chose to back up Montoya instead of Harvey Dent, and I have to just attribute it to the fact that everybody knows that Harvey Dent is going to be Two-Face. I don't know how you fix that, though. You basically need a character that looked like Harvey, but wasn't called Harvey, didn't have the last name Dent. You would have to change, like, all the characters' names and keep it in Surprise. And that would be weird too. So I guess, yeah, most people with Montoya. There is something on the achievement side too that I should point out. With every achievement I get, about 1% of players didn't make it to that next achievement. And since all the achievements are just storyline focused, it's very easy to see that there's just about 1% of players that are dropping off with every 6th or 5th of an episode going through. They can't put another 30 minutes into the game, and it's such an easy game. There's not like a case where you wouldn't be able to get to that point. People just gave up because they didn't care, I assume. And we are down to 60.1% as of the last achievement. So nearly a third of the people didn't make it to the halfway point. And that's not incredibly out of line for video games. A significant number of players don't make it to the end of games. But for a Telltale game in particular, that's the one thing that Telltale Games could have tried to address, and I imagine were trying to address on some level, by allowing people to really barely even have to play a game. So me and 68% of players kept the composure and didn't provoke Oswald. There's really no reason to provoke Oswald. But again, this is a great example of, I am not Bruce Wayne. I am a puppet master controlling Bruce Wayne. So I don't have to consider Bruce Wayne's feelings or emotions in an action. Most people would not take a swing at a person if feelings and emotions were not involved. It's very rarely that you have just cold, calculating attacks happen. And the only way you really get around that would have been for them to have us really relate to Bruce Wayne, which you can't really do that for Bruce Wayne and Batman, particularly for me, because I don't find Bruce Wayne and Batman relatable. I am not a rich millionaire who had his parents killed in Crime Alley and who decided to play vigilante and spend decades training to be such a vigilante. While I can relate on maybe base emotions of loss and anger and things like that, it becomes harder to relate on those base emotions when half the time I see Batman, I see him in such a form that he really is unlikable. Like, he's not a well-written character in all the medias he's shown as. When he's in most movies, he's usually either done too comedically or he's written too much like a jerk. In comic books, he's often written too much like a jerk. He's hard for me to relate to. See, the next choice, which this may be the one choice that falls over to the next line because we never saw Lucas again. So, yeah, I guess if we had chosen the other option and had him working for Bruce Wayne out of the Wayne Manor, then you might have a scenario in the next episode where we see Catwoman, and we could have seen Catwoman and Lucas Fox working together. But yeah, I don't think we're going to spend enough time on this story that we would see several people working out of the Batcave. Although that logically would be more realistic, is if you did have the Batcave and over in one corner of the Batcave is Lucas Fox just working on inventions, and in another corner you have Catwoman and she's spying on people and staking out like criminal hideouts that can be robbed. And throw in some other Robins and some other characters. It's kind of silly to have a single butler run a household for one person even. Like, typically you need a butler because you have a team of maids. Most people don't need a butler. Interesting. So, I guess horniness won out. And I wonder if we'll even have chapter select options. Like, yeah, it seems like horniness won out, and nearly 90% of people did want to see the Telltale animation style of boobs, which honestly it wouldn't be good, frankly. You're going to see some cleavage, but it's not even going to be particularly nicely animated, because nothing in Telltale games are nicely animated. And then me and 84.7% of people refuse to physically attack Harvey, which that definitely feels logical. The whole underwear animation here is kind of weird too, because they're giving this giant bulge to Bruce Wayne and really thick thighs that I assume he's wearing briefs and not boxers. And then you give Selena Kyle what are effectively boxer briefs for a lady. I imagine they would not have wanted to go with something like a thong or a bikini brief or something like that as far as underwear, which if they're not willing to go that far, that's just more indication that you probably are only going to see cleavage if you had tried to sleep with her. The platonic relationship and the Lucas Fox choice are probably the only choices that matter. And previous episodes' choices, I think none of those matter at this point. And I don't know what we're going to do for the next two episodes other than just, like, we're going to have to take out Vicky Vale and Harvey Dent. And then Penguin. So maybe one bad guy per episode. We've also lost the big purple guy.
After his shocking and atrocious display of violence towards Oswald Cobblepot and members of the press, Bruce Wayne has demonstrated a clear lack of mental stability. That is why, regrettably, I made the decision to have my old friend hospitalized.
Interesting. It should be the exact opposite.
Batman is its protector. Gotham already has enough deranged criminals on its streets. I believe that Gotham's citizens deserve to be safe, that they deserve to be protected.
Yeah, it's funny that they're animating
to do it myself.
Animating guns, because that's something they've never really succeeded at as far as having gun action in Telltale games. And yeah, we get the same old wherever comics and books are sold prompt. What's funny is I imagine these next two sections are going to yeah, it doesn't seem like you have chapter select, so it seems like if I did want to see that sex scene, I'd probably be better off just YouTubing it or something, versus resetting the whole chapter and playing again. And it really doesn't feel like there really is a branching path with any of this story. It definitely feels like they had a narrative they wanted to tell. It's a pretty bad narrative that I don't like, but whatever. So Falcone didn't play any roles as far as episode 1. If we had given in retrospect, if we had given the data on Falcone to Vicky Vale, well, that certainly would have changed some things. But I don't think what this is going to turn into is the idea that instead of Vicky Vale being the bad guy, Commissioner or Lieutenant Gordon would have been the bad guy. And clearly for everybody, kissing Selena and sleeping with Selena was a way easier choice. And it definitely feels like at this point there never was a chance that you would romance Vicky Vale as a character. So yeah, it doesn't feel like any of your choices really mattered. And that's the problem with all Telltale games. Pretty much after the first season of the Walking Dead game, it became very obvious that none of your choices really mattered. And remember, at the end of the first season of the Walking Dead Telltale game, they straight up told you what your choices were and had a character say, I've been watching you this whole time and I've been judging you, but it didn't matter what choice you made because he would still judge you guilty in his eyes regardless of what actions you took. So it was a lose-lose scenario from the word go. Yeah, again, this really feels like this whole story is just so out there that the only way it makes sense is if Bruce Wayne wakes up at the end of this season and it's just all a nightmare, some scarecrow-induced nightmare. Anyways, it's been an hour. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.